The blonde girl slapped him hard and walked away with attitude, swearing never to look back. But before her hand even cooled, she turned and ran back, tears falling fast. What happened? Turns out, after leaving him, she went to the bathroom, took off her clothes, and admired her curvy figure, confused why he'd cheat. Suddenly, a knock came from the bathtub. She turned, called out, but no answer. Then 2 more knocks. Curious, she pulled the curtain aside, and saw a huge rat. She screamed and fell. The rat lunged for her foot. She scrambled up and ran out, still naked, straight to her boyfriend, crying in panic. Friends gathered around, shocked, and decided to check the bathroom together. The boyfriend, shaking, grabbed a stick, trying to be brave. But he was too slow. The blue shirt guy snatched the stick, opened the curtain, but the tub was empty. The blonde girl broke down, insisting it was there. Gray shirt guy stepped in and said, "It looks safe." But just then, rats swarmed in and knocked him down. Blue shirt guy fought back hard and finally killed the biggest one. Then he put it in a bag, and threw it outside. You think it's over? Next morning, the rat's body was gone. Meanwhile, 2 boys in the water invited the blonde girl to join. She was tempted, stepped in slowly. But something brushed her leg. She froze. Suddenly, one boy sank. When he surfaced, he was holding his own severed foot, still bleeding. The short-haired girl screamed in horror. Water wasn't safe anymore. They swam to the raft, but a monster bit one's shoulder. The other boy grabbed him and threw him onto the raft. They were terrified. What was that thing? One guy ripped his shirt to stop the bleeding. But more creatures came, slamming the raft, sticking out heads, hungry for a meal. One monster jumped on. The boy kicked it off, but more kept coming. They had to act fast. Big guy, ignoring the short-haired girl's cries, grabbed their dog and threw it into the river. The monsters went for it. In seconds, only blood remained. The group jumped in and swam to shore. Safe? Not yet. One monster followed them to land. The blonde girl ran to the cabin to call for help, but the phone line was dead. While dialing, a monster bit her leg. She fell. A knife dropped beside her and stuck in the floor. The monster jumped on her. She fought hard, choking it, then flung it off and grabbed the knife. She crawled onto the table, but the monster followed. She realized. It was the same rat monster they killed yesterday. Same broken body. How was it alive again? She stabbed it with the knife and ran to the living room. Opened the door. Let her friends in. Then slammed it shut. You think the nightmare's over? Big guy stabbed another mutant, ripped off its head, and tossed it out. But it didn't help. A blonde guy got his leg bitten off. Short-haired girl and a guy rushed him into a car, trying to drive to the hospital. But fallen trees blocked the road. The guy got out, found an axe in a car, and gave it to the girl. He went ahead alone, told her to stay in the car. She had just returned when she heard him scream. She ran, he was dead. The monster was still there. Desperate, she raised the axe. A gunshot rang out. A bearded man had arrived just in time. He helped her get the blonde guy into his truck. Back at the cabin, the others regretted not going too. Suddenly, a monster hit the window. The glass cracked. They decided to board up the doors and windows, but the wood was chewed through quickly. They grabbed weapons to hold off the beasts. Just then, the monsters backed off, engine sounds were heard. The bearded man had come back with the 2 of them, but the door was blocked. More monsters arrived. With no choice, the 3 headed to a neighbor's house. But the neighbor was already dead. Phone lines were cut. The blonde guy's wound worsened. The bearded man tried to help, but then, a noise. As they checked it out, The blonde guy turned. He lunged, biting the man's face. They wrestled. The short-haired girl tried to shoot, but missed. The man's head split open. She fled upstairs and shut the door, not knowing a zombie woman was already inside. The zombie grabbed her hair. She turned and tried to fight back. The short-haired girl tried to shoot, but missed. She threw it down and jumped from the second floor, landing unconscious. Back at the cabin, they went to rest upstairs. But not long after, the blonde girl entered the short-haired girl's room and climbed onto her. She thought it was a joke, until her friend grew claws and turned into a zombie. She screamed and jumped away. But the zombie blocked the door. She was trapped. Big guy grabbed a stick, hit the zombie, and pulled her to safety. They ran to the bathroom. To check for bites, they asked each other to strip. But desire took over, and the guy made a move, until a zombie burst from the floor and bit his leg. He collapsed, twitching. The girl grabbed her clothes and ran. She didn't know the wires were bitten through. Fire broke out. Smoke filled the house. Just as she was about to burn, the short-haired girl crashed in with a car and saved her. They drove off. But outside, zombies blocked them. The car crashed into a tree. Surrounded. Just as they were about to die, the short-haired girl restarted the car and broke through. Not long after, another tree blocked the road. They got out and walked. Almost safe. Then, the girl beside her pointed a gun at her and accused her of being infected. The short-haired girl tried to explain, but it was too late. Her friend's eyes turned white. She had changed. The short-haired girl cried and raised her axe. 81 swings later, it was over. She was the last one left. Victory was near. Until she met the ultimate road-killing monster.